The non-conference season is almost completed, but it's already a record one for the Sunbelt. The league already has 15 non-conference wins, 3 versus BCS automatic qualifiers. Both are records. I'm Glenn Deemer, and this is Inside the Sunbelt. We start with a showdown of last year's top 2 teams, Western Kentucky at defending champion Arkansas State. A record crowd of more than 25,000 on hand at Liberty Bank Stadium for this one, and the Red Wolves did not disappoint early. A 93-yard drive at the end of the half. Then with 3rd and goal, keep your eye out for the reverse, and Freddie Knighton pulls up and throws the TD pass with just 9 seconds remaining. Arkansas State led 13-0 at halftime. But this was a tale of 2 halves. In the second, Western Kentucky with starting quarterback K1 Jakes out with an injury. Redshirt freshman James Morrow comes of age. His first collegiate TD pass goes to Mitchell Henry, and it's 13-7. The Hilltoppers get a turnover, and it's Morrow to Henry again, this time from 22 yards, and now they lead 14-13 after 3 quarters. Then it was time for Antonio Andrews to do his thing, gouging the Red Wolf defense for big chunks of yardage. He also scored the only touchdown of the 4th quarter. Western Kentucky wins 26-13 to avenge last year's lone conference loss. Middle Tennessee stepped out of conference to play at Georgia Tech, and Benny Cunningham went 60 yards on the first play of the 2nd quarter to give the Blue Raiders a 14-7 lead. It was tied at 21 at halftime. Cunningham scored his 3rd straight touchdown with a 23-yard run early in the 3rd, and it was 28-21 Middle Tennessee. Marcus Henry caught 1 pass in the game, but it went for 75 yards and a touchdown to make it 35-21. Cunningham ran for 217 yards and 5 scores as the Blue Raiders take down Tech 49-28. The Louisiana Lafayette offense was in high gear at home versus FIU. Blaine Gauthier engineers an 82-yard drive and caps it with a 3-yard touchdown, 7-0 Raging Cajuns. On the next drive, he threw a touchdown pass to Jacob Maxwell, 14-0. Terrence Broadway then came in at quarterback and goes 13 yards for the score, make it 24-0. E.J. Hilliard was making his first ever college start for the Panthers, and he scores as FIU cuts the deficit to 24-14. Second offensive play of the second half, and Broadway goes 78 yards to Harry Peoples, who goes up the sideline for the touchdown. The Raging Cajuns win 48-20. They are 2-0 in conference play. Troy, playing in-state rival South Alabama, and it jumps out to a 10-0 lead, has 2 Corey Robinson completions, get the ball to the 1. Justin Albert scores from there. The Jaguars then go 94 yards in 12 plays. Trey Fettner the touchdown, 10-7 after 1 quarter. Deion Anthony now at quarterback, and he finds Chandler Worthy for the score, make it 17-7 Troy. Robinson is back in, and in 4 plays he gets the Trojans 80 yards and another touchdown. Troy goes on to win 31-10 and is 2-1 in Sunbelt play. And in the final conference game, North Texas at FAU. And Derek Thompson led the Mean Green to a 10-0 halftime lead. The big play, 68-yard bomb to Breland Chancellor. 3rd quarter, and Thompson goes to Drew Miller for a 14-yard score, make it 17-0. FAU cut the lead to 17-14 in the 4th quarter as quarterback Graham Wilbert scores from 11 yards out, but North Texas holds on and wins 20-14. And Louisiana Monroe played the other non-conference game and beat Tulane 63-10. Colton Browning had 3 touchdown passes. Benny Cunningham of Middle Tennessee is the Offensive Player of the Week. As we told you earlier, he rushed for a career-high 217 yards and 5 touchdowns in the big win over Georgia Tech. Defensive Player of the Week is defensive lineman Quantaris Smith of Western Kentucky. He recorded career best in sacks with 3.5 and tackles for loss with 5.5 in the Hilltoppers' big win at Arkansas State. And for the Special Teams Player of the Week, we go back to kicker Brent Baer of Louisiana Lafayette. He nailed 2 more field goals and continues to lead the nation in field goals made. He also had 5 punts for a 41.6-yard average, and none of them were returned. This week starts early on Thursday night as Arkansas State plays at FIU. The game is on ESPNU, starts at 6:30 Central. The other conference game is on Saturday, Louisiana Monroe at Middle Tennessee. It's the Sunbelt Network Game of the Week. It starts at 2:30 Central. It's also on ESPN3. The other two games on Saturday are non-conference ones. Louisiana Lafayette plays host to in-state rival Tulane. It can be seen locally at 4 p.m. on Cox 4, also on ESPN3. And North Texas travels downstate to play at Houston. The game is on CSS, starts just after 6 p.m. Off this week are FAU, South Alabama, Troy, and Western Kentucky. And that's your look inside the Sun Belt. I'm Glenn Dieman.